Hello and welcome back to Morrissey and Wine. My name's George.
I'm Chris.
So this is the place to be if you're a big Smiths and Morrissey fan like Chris and I are. So my day job, I'm a newspaper journalist. I'm supposed to be the kind of sensible, slightly detached one in this partnership, and Chris is the super fan.
Yes, that's me.
You've been to, gosh, how many shows do you think over the years, Morrissey shows?
Oh, I don't know. I don't want to disclose that here, but yeah, quite a lot. I don't know the number.
It's
Yeah.
well, it's dozens probably, isn't it?
Yeah, it could
And
be, yeah.
all around the world.
Yes.
So it's Morrissey and wine. So of course we have wine. I always have a bottle, and Chris has a bottle. Chris usually goes for the red, and this time you've got a Primitivo, I believe.
That's right, yeah.
So this is a Primitivo from Majestic Wine. Chris, do you want to pour that? Open that and pour that.
Yes.
And then maybe you can pour a glass of mine, which is a sparkling rosé by Thompson and Scott called Naughty. Now, what have we got coming up on today's show? Well, our big interview this time is with a comedian called Matt Koff. Matt Koff is a stand-up comedian and also a writer for one of the biggest shows in the US, which is called The Daily Show. Now, we hadn't watched The Daily Show before coming across Matt. Oh, lovely. We noticed that Matt was following us on Instagram, and so we got in touch. The Daily Show, for our English and British listeners and viewers, is a little bit like Have I Got News For You? Topical news program. It's more scripted, and also they have a main presenter and guests come on to be interviewed. But it's a huge show. I mean, I told my friend Kara, didn't I, about that we were interviewing a writer from The Daily Show, and she flipped. She's like, wow, that's a massive show in the US. So we're going to talk to him about his love of the Smiths and Morrissey. Maybe we can talk a little bit about the role of humour in Morrissey's work. Jokes and humour in Morrissey's work, because Morrissey does have a particular kind of humour, doesn't he?
Yes, yeah.
What would you say, like a dry kind of humour?
Yeah, quite dry, quite British, but I think there's a lot of that satire in the
Thank you.
Daily Show as well, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
Thank you.
you.
Oh, I need to put it down, and I've got... So anyway, interview with Matt coming up. We're going to do the quiz, as always. This time I'm going to quiz you.
Yep.
Last month we did a special quiz which was all about whether people were more or less famous than Morrissey. But
And you did quite well on that one.
I did, actually.
Yeah.
We're back to normal service this time, and it's going to be a trivia quiz, 10 questions that I'm going to ask you.
Yep.
Nanny Val, as always, my grandma, Nanny Val, a complete novice to the music when we started this podcast. There's still loads of Morrissey and Smith songs that she hasn't heard, and she is going to react to one, having listened to it for the first time. We're going to analyse the lyrics of a song. What are we doing this time?
This time we're doing Irish Blood, English Heart.
Yes, because originally we were going to do Jackie's Only Happy When She's Up on the Stage, but we had a conversation with Gary, our producer, who's here with us in the studio, about Irish Blood, English Heart, and about how it possibly kind of predicted and presaged some of the debates that we're now having 20 years later in the UK.
Yeah, it seems like that conversation's going on a lot now. All the St George's crosses everywhere. And things.
Yeah.
On roundabouts, painted on roundabouts.
Yes, this is in the UK happening at the moment. We'll go into that in more detail when we discuss the song. Finally, then, of course, we have If You Love Morrissey, Then You'll Love This, which is some recommendations of things that we think you'll like if you're a big fan of Morrissey and the Smiths. Now, without further ado, shall we try this wine?
Yes.
Cheers, by the way. Cheers if you're having a glass at home. Cheers. You try yours first and tell me what you think.
It's nice. So I like Primitivo. So
Yes.
It's one of my favourite wines.
You were telling me that Primitivo is not like a brand; it's like a kind of wine.
Yeah, I think it's related to Zinfandel. It's it's a grape. It's Italian, from sort of in South Italy near the Heel. I've not been there, but it is a wine that I was in the Lake District, and it was the only wine they had available in this hotel. And since then, I've been trying the different ones. So yeah, this was from Majestic.
Yes, got both of ours from Majestic
Yes.
Wine.
So do you want to try yours?
Yeah, well, I just had a little sip actually, but
It's a sparkling wine.
sparkling rosé. I don't want to sound like a fool. You might read the tasting notes in a minute and tell me that it's sweet, but I do get a certain dryness.
Okay, so I'll ask you questions then on the wine. So
Have you got the notes there?
yeah, I've got the notes here.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's Naughty by Thomas and Scott, which I think
Yes.
you said. It's a vibrant sparkling rosé. You know where it's from?
Trying to read the back of the bottle. No, I don't know where. Thompson and Scott sounds British to me.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's Madrid. So
Madrid,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Anything I should be looking out for in the wine?
So what flavors are in there?
I want to say like red fruits, like berries or something.
Okay. Yeah, so it does say here red berry flavours.
Red. I got red and berry.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good. And then hint of anything else?
I don't know. Like maybe kind of woody or like something. I don't know.
You peaked too soon there, not woody.
Okay.
It's more fruit, so it's got a hint of elderflower. Can you taste that?
Elderflower. That's interesting. I like elderflower. Let me see. I'm not picking up on that massively.
No.
Maybe my palate isn't sophisticated enough.
No, maybe.
So let's talk about yours.
What would you pair this one with, sorry?
I'd pair it with a Sambuca chaser. I don't know. I suppose I'd pair it with salad. They always say salad, don't they?
Do they?
Like a goat's cheese and beetroot salad.
You said on the last episode it was paired with fish.
Well, yours, Chris, what are you tasting? Because I've got the notes here. What particular kind of taste do you pick up on?
It's quite rich, but not as fruity as not that fruity. I don't know.
Okay, well, it says here that this young, vibrant wine has exciting notes of cherry and stewed fruits.
Okay.
Stewed fruits. So that's a particular kind of taste. Do you picking up on stewed fruits? Stewed fruits.
Blown toast. Maybe.
Maybe. There's not a great deal of information about the taste.
Yeah.
It's it says here that they wanted to represent the best of the key region styles of grape varieties. This is created in collaboration with Piccini, a winery with over 5 generations of winemaking heritage is it Puglia or Puglia? In Puglia's rolling sun-soaked hills.
Oh,
that's what you were talking about.
They must know what they're doing then if it's 5 generations.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to continue to sip those wines as we go through the rest of the show. But first, or rather next, is our trivia quiz. So let's go into that. Let's say cheers.
Cheers, George.
Cheers. Thank you, everybody at home, for joining us. Let's have a go at the quiz. See how well you do. It's time for the quiz. How are you feeling, Chris?
I'm feeling optimistic.
Not anxious, nervous, worried?
No, not yet. Not yet.
Okay, well, as always, we have some quiz theme music, which I shall be providing from my very own lungs. You ready for it, Chris?
I can't wait.
This is your chance. Grasp the nettle and prove your mettle. There are people out there who know nothing of this trivia. You've waited all your life, it's quite sad if you stop and think. Never mind that, it's the Morrissey quiz. Hey.
It is growing on me quite a lot.
Is it?
Yeah, quite like it now. Can you get it on Spotify?
We could clip it out, make it your ringtone at work or something.
Maybe, yeah.
Now Gary has donated his iPad to us for a brief period so I can get the quiz questions on here and I don't have to lean over and look at the screen. It's a little bit of boring behind the fourth wall content there. Quiz questions.
Okay.
Question number 1. What was the number of Morrissey's childhood home in Kings Road, Stretford?
So on Kings Road, it was 384.
Was it 384? Correct. Sorry, I hesitated there because I was about to press the quiz theme music again.
No, not again, please. I do know that because it is quite close to me. It's just around the corner. So
yes.
I do walk past there on a rainy evening.
Yes. We went to the Iron Bridge a few months ago, didn't we? Which is near there.
Yeah, it's on Kings Road, the Iron Bridge, yeah. Just down the road. But I always feel a bit awkward going past the house in case like the people living there think that the weirdos are back.
So question number 2. Who originally sang the song Loneliness Remembers What Happiness Forgets? Which was, of course, covered in California's Sun.
This was it Dionne Warwick?
Was it Dionne Warwick?
Is that the name?
Correct. Yeah, well, Dionne But I imagine a lot of people will say Diane.
Yeah. Oh, because Don't Make Me Over is her sort of biggest song, I think. So yeah.
Question number 3. What is the first track on the compilation album Louder Than Bombs?
Really good album. So I hope I get this right. It's when I had my first car, it only had a CD player. And this was the one that I had on all the time. Because I think you said it was your first, this was your introduction to the Smiths as well. And I had the CD, but it was a bit scratched in parts, but the first song did work, which was Is It Really So Strange?
Is It Really So Strange? Correct or incorrect?
Oh.
Correct. So you've got 3 out of 3 so far, 3 out of 10. Question number 4. Which road does Morrissey reference in the song Maladjusted?
Great song.
Yes.
They're all great songs. They're all good ones, aren't they?
It's all good stuff, dear.
It's all good stuff, dear. Do you want a bag?
What's type, do you?
Was it Fulham, the Fulham Road? I don't think that's the full title. The Fulham Road.
Well,
is Fulham a road or a place? We don't know about the south, do we?
Correct. Gosh, that was loud. Correct. I'm impressed that you said the Fulham Road, because that's how people in London say it, like the King's Road, and there's certain roads that you put a the in front of.
Oh, really?
Even though it is just Fulham Road or King's Road, Londoners tend to say the.
Okay.
So yes, the Fulham Road, that's correct. He says in the song, the Fulham Road lights stretched and invite into the night.
Yes.
And we'd kill
to live around Southwest 6.
Yes, with someone like you.
I say that. I'd kill to live around M21, which is Chiltern, Manchester.
Question number 5. Don't remember writing this question. I did it last week. Do an impression of the familiar Morrissey chant at gigs.
Oh, I don't like to do things like this. Well, we do have it in the intro, because we were talking about this a second ago with Gary. In the intro, it's Morrissey, Morrissey, Morrissey. It's almost like a football chant.
Yeah.
Morrissey, Morrissey.
And how does it end?
Morrissey. I'm not doing any more. It's embarrassing.
I'll give you that. Okay.
It's okay to do it when everyone else is singing and mine's drowned out. But,
yeah. Well, you have got 5 out of 10 so far. Mm-hmm. Well, question number 6. What was the name of the Suede track covered by Morrissey on the 1992 Your Arsenal tour? And I'm not going to give you a hint because you've done so bloody well so far. I want you to get one wrong.
Yeah, I don't know this one.
You don't?
No, I really don't.
Okay, it features the very good line, you shit paracetamol. So that was wrong. The answer is My Insatiable One.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think I would have got that.
Okay, so 5 out of 6 so far. Question number 7. Which ill-fated Pools winner graced the cover of Heaven Knows I'm Miserable Now?
I don't know their full name. Is it someone? Was it Viv or Viv? Viv.
You're going to say Viv. Well, I'm not going to give you the point because
that's fair enough.
You've done so well.
Yeah.
It's incorrect.
Slater?
The full name, well, obviously the first name was correct. It's Viv Nicholson.
Oh, okay, Nicholson. Yeah.
Spend.
Spend.
Question number 8. Okay, so sorry, you got 6 out of 7. Yeah, so question number 8. In which music magazine did Morrissey first have his letters published in 1974?
Was it... This is more of a guess, really. Was it The Enemy?
Pronounce it again.
It's a joke. NME.
Right, yeah, okay. Correct, it was The Enemy, the New Musical Express. Morrissey used to put his forthright opinions on music down on paper and send them in to the offices whereupon they were published. So that is 7 out of 8 so far. Question number 9. Which Radio 1 DJ is widely credited for introducing the masses to the Smiths in the 1980s?
Was it John Peel?
You're supposed to dither a bit, give people at home a chance.
Sorry.
That's correct. So that's 8 out of 9.
Or was it not? No.
8 out of 9 so far. Question number 10. Which musician co-wrote Pregnant for the Last Time with Morrissey? Phlegm lapels for the last time.
I really don't know.
Well,
I think it's someone we might have spoken to,
it might be.
but I can't remember.
Okay, well, that is incorrect. So you got 8 out of 10 on the quiz. The correct answer for question number 10 was Mark Nevin,
Oh, Mark
who
Nevin.
we have spoken to on this podcast.
Yes, we have.
Very interesting because he wasn't just Morrissey's co-writer. He had a very successful career of his own. So that was a good interview that you can listen back to. So 8 out of 10. How do you
So
feel?
it's good. Do I get a prize now?
Yeah, I'll give you a handshake.
Nice. Yeah, that wasn't bad, was it? I think it's better than what you did last time.
Oh, it was better, yeah.
Which is all that matters, I think.
So I wonder how you did at home. Let us know if you're in the WhatsApp chat. I think, again, like I said a couple of episodes ago, there's a good chance of getting a decent score on that one. If you got 10 out of 10, let us know. How are you finding the wine?
Yeah, it's nice. It's really good.
I'm
like you?
I'm liking mine, yeah. I'm really into sparkling water at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. I did start with San Pellegrino.
Posh one.
And then I realised I'd have to remortgage my house if I wanted to buy the amount of San Pellegrino that I wanted. So now I'm on to like home brand sparkling water.
Asda's own or?
Well, I don't quite know. I get it from the corner shop down the road.
Much better than Asda.
Yeah. No, yeah, mine.
Is it still getting those fruity flavours?
Yeah, I am.
Would you buy it again?
I would buy it again. I think it'd be, if it's sunny outside right now, if it's still sunny when I get home and I've got a bit left, I might enjoy some in the garden.
Sounds like a nice evening.
Okay, so next we are going to talk to Nanny Val.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, so as always, our Patreon members suggest songs for Nanny Val to react to. I put them all into a YouTube playlist for her. She listens to them all, she reads the lyrics, and she chooses the one that she thinks she's going to have the most to say about.
Do you go around now when she's playing Morrissey and the Smiths in the kitchen when she's making a blueberry tart or something?
No, I've never noticed her listening to it in that way. But Nan will often text me and say, "Oh, I've just seen this picture of Morrissey that I've never seen before." Or
where would she have seen that picture?
Well, she follows a few pages on Facebook.
Okay.
I think there's a page called like Morrissey Fanatics or something that are quite good at posting little known pictures.
Okay.
You know, and a lot of the time it'll be something that I've heard before, but it reminds me of, you know, when you first get into the subject of Morrissey and the Smiths, there's so much to learn and so many cool things to find out about.
Could you introduce her often as a novice or but obviously now she's, this is going on for a year and a half or so.
Yeah. Well, this is episode 19.
Yeah.
We do it once a month.
Yeah. So she's really must know a lot now.
Yeah. So let's have a chat with her. Let's say cheers.
Yes. Cheers, George.
Cheers. Cheers to you at home. Let's have a chat with Nanny Val while I scoff some wine. Welcome back to the Morrissey and Wine podcast. Nan, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you, Henny.
Good. Okay, so our Patreon subscribers, as always, have suggested a list of songs for you to react to. I've made you a playlist. You've listened to them all. I think there was about 10. What have you chosen this time?
I've chosen "Kiss Me a Lot."
Okay, yeah, I like that song. So it's from World Peace Is None of Your Business, the album. It's co-written by Jesse Tobias, so he did the music. I know you're keen on his style. Was that the only thing about it that jumped out at you, or were there other reasons that you thought I'm going to do this one?
I think, again, because it was quite a lilting, happy sort of song, and it was sort of with the dates that I was sent of different ones. There were lots of the older Smiths ones and some of the new ones, and this was sort of about in the middle. It's 2014, so I thought it was a little bit different from some of the others that I'd probably talked about. Yeah, I liked it. It was very bright and had a sort of flamenco feel to it. And I wondered, actually, because of course there is a very famous Spanish song called "Bésame Mucho," which is Kiss Me. Yeah. And so I wondered, that's wherever Morrissey would go in any Latin area or South America, that would be played a lot. So maybe it was the basis for him creating this song,
That's very interesting. Didn't know that. And I mean, I don't know if you picked up on it, but in the song, someone is saying "Bésame Mucho" in the background.
Oh, I didn't. How silly. I honestly didn't. It's just it to me, I've always known Besame Mucho as a, you know, very lively song. And there were lots of overtones of like flamenco dance. I could imagine him, doing the clicking his heels and doing the, with the cape and all that sort of thing. I liked it a lot. It was very bright and good music.
And quite straightforward lyrics for Morrissey, isn't it? They're very much to the point, and there aren't a lot of them.
No, that there's very few words, to be perfectly honest. It seemed a very happy song that he was saying it sounds like him and a partner had been to lots of places, to the Bastille and to mausoleums and stockyards. What was it? Stockyards?
Churchyards.
Yeah, even your mama's backyard. And to me, that was people that they'd gone around to lots of different places, sightseeing, etc. But the only thing that was important to him is that he was being kissed, that they were loving and they were kissing each other. And that little bit about even your mama's backyard, I thought, oh, maybe that was a family visit. Maybe they went to visit his friend, his companion's family. And even there, the only thing that was of interest to him, major interest, was kissing this person who obviously enjoys kissing.
Yeah. And it's Morrissey being, I thought about this. It's like, first impression was, oh, Morrissey's being unusually passionate and explicit in his sort of, romantic passion. But as time has gone on, Morrissey has been more open about these things, hasn't he? In his later songs.
Yeah, there's lots of things to do with kissing and loving and being close to someone, aren't they? In lots of the various songs that we've looked at.
Yeah, but that, I think in the past it was sort of more, it was all a little bit, it was a bit snooty about this sort of thing, in the Smiths sort of time, and it was a little bit above these kind of relationships. But it seems like as time has gone on, he's got to this point where he's doing Kiss Me a Lot, and it's just perfectly openly saying, I really fancy, I want to kiss you a lot.
Yeah, which is nice. It's good if he's reached that position in life, because he wasn't there, was he, for a very long time? He was very mixed up about how he felt about his sexual orientations or whatever, and he seems comfortable now in who he is, whatever it is, whichever way it is. He's very happy with who he is, I'm ready to share that more with the world.
Yeah. And as always, or nearly always, this person he's kissing doesn't have a gender, so we don't know whether it's a man or a woman. What do you think, now you've listened to quite a lot of Morrissey and the Smiths, do you think Morrissey's doing it because it means that anybody can listen to it, or do you think he's doing it because he doesn't want to reveal that part of his life?
I think he's been so used to hiding it. There's been so many stories about him with various people, even a journalist I read, there was supposed to be a brief affair, and with that Jake Walders then with a woman and various people. So I think, it's taken him a long time to say, this is who I am, and take it or leave it. And I think he's nearly there. I think we're reaching that point when he will declare who he is and what he is. And, if he thinks it's our business, perhaps he doesn't.
Well, he said that he was humour-sexual, didn't he? That was his word. He said he was attracted to humans, not necessarily one of one gender.
Yeah.
And then when he was in the Importance of Being Morrissey documentary, and he was asked about it, and he said, I will never talk about it, because I think he essentially said it's not anyone's business but mine.
Yeah. I think he does declare more of himself in recent times than he used to. I think he's, he should do. He should be at the age when he can be who he is and claim it.
And so, also in this song, this song is also is on the album "World Peace Is None of Your Business." What do you think of that title? Because it's always struck me as a pretty good one.
Yeah, it's pretty inflammatory, really. It's the sort of thing he does, isn't it? Just to make people sit up and take notice, which is scary. He has that ability with words, doesn't he?
Yes. I mean, to me, it seems like he's saying there are powers in the world that control things, and an individual radical shouldn't be getting involved in that and trying to create world peace because it's none of your business. Is that kind of what it sounds like to you?
Yeah, I suppose so. And he says, like, don't watch the news or whatever, and things like that. Yeah, I think he thinks it's pretty futile for the average sort of Joe Blogs to think that they've any influence in the world, because we don't, unfortunately.
Mm.
As if all the good people came together, perhaps there would be peace and understanding everywhere.
And so this song, as we said before, is particularly kind of short in terms of the lyrics. Do you prefer the more verbose Baroque Morrissey songs, or do you prefer the short and snappy ones?
No, if I'm truthful, I like his poetry. So I like the ones with more intricate lyrics, that you really have to understand. You have to read into it and see what you think and interpret it. I like those. This one was just little oddity, and I thought, I like this. This is bright and breezy and very, as I say, with tones of flamenco, etc. I liked it. It's good.
And we know that Morrissey doesn't like to stand still and keep doing the same thing over and over again. So sometimes you'll want to do a short song, I suppose, just for variety.
Yeah. And to fit in this set list on the night.
Yeah.
There are long ones for it. Apparently you need a couple of small ones.
Yeah.
Your cat just appeared behind you.
Yeah. Come on,
Jonah's behind.
Say hello. Hello.
She's lovely.
Joni, named after Joni Mitchell. Okay, so I've got the leaderboard here. Da, 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 da. So last time you did In the Future When All's Well, and it was in joint second place with Once I Saw the River Clean and When You Open Your Legs. Let's do some ratings for this song. So lyrics. I'm thinking this might not be a massively high score.
I can't pretend it is massively good on lyrics, so I would only say 8.
8. Is that, do you think 8? That's still pretty high.
Is it? Well, let's go down one then, say 7, because there aren't, it's very brief and it's repetitive, so it's not very inspiring on lyrics.
Yeah, okay. That's fair enough. Music
I liked. It's my sort of, I like this. So I'd probably say 9 with the lyrics. Sorry, music.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. There were lots of little guitar solos, and it was nice. It was enjoyable, I thought.
And how about the voice?
Yeah, the voice was good, but not his best.
Yeah.
But it was good. So probably only 8.
8. Okay, so if we add that up, that's 8 plus 7 is 15, plus 9 is 24. So 24 puts us, let me see if I can show the camera. 24 puts us down near the bottom. So 24 we'll put it in joint 10th place between Sunny and Ouija Board.
Okay.
But it's still in the top 10 because we have done more than 10 songs.
Yeah, we've done at least 20 at least, I think now, haven't we? We've done a lot.
Okay, well that's brilliant, Nan. Thank you for doing this. It's nice to see you. And to you, Nan, I'll just say goodbye and thanks again.
Thank you, darling. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
Now we're going to analyse the lyrics of Irish Blood, English Heart.
Yes, and we're going to do it in a slightly different way this time. So we're going to be playing the song sort of in real time, and we're going to pause it when we have something to say about it, and then afterwards we'll have a sort of more full discussion. So obviously Irish Blood, English Heart from You Are the Quarry, 2004. Same year that Shaun of the Dead came out.
Good year.
A vintage year. And, it was a big part of Morrissey's comeback. He'd been without a record label for a number of years. It went Maladjusted, which I think was 97, wasn't it? Maladjusted, if I'm not mistaken. It was at least around that time. Then there's an 8-year, or so gap. Well, he didn't have a label, and then he came back with this single and this album, and it was a big comeback for him. That famous Jonathan Ross interview, which we all love, with Morrissey, was filmed to promote this album and this single. So, shall we start the song?
Let's, yeah.
Okay, just a second. It's very rousing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you want to do that.
Getting ready for the big fight.
Irish blood, English heart, this I'm made of.
Okay, so Irish blood, English heart, this I'm made of. What's he saying there?
So I think it's quite obvious, but he is saying that that's who he is. That's where his family, the roots are in Ireland, but he grew up in Manchester in England, and that's where his heart is. So
Yes.
it's quite descriptive and quite clear where I think people are.
And he's not said Irish head, English heart, because the head and the heart would be two very separate things. But blood and the heart, they cannot exist without each other, can they?
No.
They're very much, they're almost the same thing. The heart is absolutely crucial to blood. Blood needs the heart to move around the body. So he's saying the Irishness and the Englishness are separate, but so close as to always be the same thing for him.
Intertwined. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's carry on.
That's
There is no one on earth I'm afraid of.
He looks so cool in this video.
And no regime can
Good hair.
buy
Very good hair.
or sell me.
Okay, so there is no regime. No, sorry. No regime can buy or sell me. And he says, there is no one on this earth that I'm afraid of. So, this is quite a strange thing for Morrissey to say, because I don't, yes, of course, he stands up to the big guy. And, especially with vegetarianism and meat is murder, he's willing and against the rules, he's really willing to stand up against these things. But also he's always been quite shy and retiring, and you think that kind of person probably is scared of a lot of things, don't you think?
that's true. Yeah.
Kind of weird that Morrissey would say there is no one on this earth that I'm afraid of.
Yeah, but I think he's saying that in the context of a regime and maybe, even on a smaller level, he doesn't, with the issue with all the record labels and things, not wanting to cower to that.
Yeah, I mean, so I think also this is Morrissey continuing to grow up in a way, so he understands that a lot of people in 2004, this is going to be the first time they've really heard about Morrissey for a long time, probably not even since the Smiths. They turned off from it. Now in 2004 he's having this big comeback with this video. He looks so handsome and well dressed, but he looks like an older guy. And maybe he's saying with age, I've decided there is no one that I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I think the image as well, the video, the official video for this, it's worlds apart from how he was in the Smiths. I mean, he's very like substantial here. He's not wavy. He's very like every movement is, it's quite. I don't know what the word is, but
direct.
Very very direct and feels very sure. He's not sort of floundering around. It looks like you imagine Morrissey the Smiths. You went on the stage, you probably could give him a push over.
Yes.
Whereas this Morrissey, I don't think you could push him over.
And so he says, there's no regime that can buy or sell me. And this reminds me of another track in this album when he says, there's a cash register ringing and it weighs so heavy on my back. But then also in Years of Refusal, he says, what did he say? I was thinking of the line, I've been thinking what with my final brain cell, but that's cell with a C, not SELL. So that's a complete detour. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is Morrissey is aware of his position as a product, isn't he? Or that he could be viewed as a product. And I think, with the cash register ringing on his back, he understands that big part of what he does, is as authentic as he wants to be, is about making money for himself and the people who work with him. So he's saying there's no regime, Colonel Gaddafi can't send him a paycheck for £1 million to play at his 60th birthday party. So Morrissey wouldn't do that. Should we carry on with the song?
Let's carry on, yep.
I've been dreaming of a time when to be English is not to be vain.
So I wanted to stop here because I think there's a lot of people who think that he says to be English is not to be painful.
It's
With a
not,
P.
It's baneful, isn't it?
Baneful. Baneful.
What does baneful mean, George?
It means don't test me, Christopher. It means to be harmful, like to harm or destructive.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
So he says, I've been dreaming of a time when to be English is not to be baneful. I just wanted to stop there for that, but let's hear the rest of this bit of
Keep
the
educating
chorus.
us, George.
To be standing by the flag, not feeling shameful, racist or partial.
Okay, so this is a big part that people remember from the song, isn't it?
Yeah.
So-
So not many people have in their song the word racist.
No.
It's quite a big word to put into a song, isn't it?
Yes.
Especially a pop song.
And of course, we have to put this in the context of Morrissey having been kind of attacked by the NME for that Finsbury, I think it was Finsbury Park, wasn't it, gig with the Union Jack and the gold lame shirt. And, you know, he's very knowingly and consciously saying, I don't want to live in a country that's racist, and putting, as you say, putting the word racist in a song.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wants England to not be baneful, racist, or partial. I don't know so much if partial is the best word that Morrissey could have chosen. Who am I to say? But I'm not quite, that doesn't come across so clear to me what that might mean. I don't know if it does to you. What do you think he's saying about being partial? Because every
yeah.
country is partial to certain viewpoints.
Yeah, I probably haven't thought about that word too much in the song, but yeah, I think that using the word racist is quite a strong word. But I think if you're singing about these sorts of things, Irish blood, English heart, it sort of clears that, doesn't it? To say this isn't. I may love this place, and this is who I am. It's my blood, my veins, my body. But it doesn't mean that. That doesn't mean that because I love what I am, that I'm also racist.
Yes.
And they're not linked unless someone makes them to be linked, but they're not. Yeah.
I think this is Morrissey setting out a manifesto, isn't it? In a way that a politician does. He's saying, this is what I want my country to be. And interesting that he talks about England and not Britain. Irish blood, English heart. It's not Irish blood, British heart. I suppose that's probably because you could be British and Irish. So maybe he had to say English to make the two things seem separate. But in the song, he's saying, dreaming of a certain kind of England. Interestingly, I read a report. It was done off the back of a survey of people who are immigrants to the country and people who have lived there the whole time. And it's more common for, you know, native people who live in Britain to refer to their individual country.
Yeah,
More, and it's more common for people who have moved to Britain to call it Britain. You know, so
it is interesting when you talk about his manifesto, because I think he mentions this song on the list of his favorite, sort of his own favorite, Morrissey's favorite songs of Morrissey. I think this is at the top. I think this is number 1. Is it? It's really up there.
where was this list?
He published it on Morrissey Central.
Oh right, okay.
And I think that he mentioned that in that description about the song, that this song explains very clearly his mindset and who he is. Even though it's such a short song, and really there's not many lyrics in it, really, is there? And some of them are repeated. So
Yes. Okay, well let's carry on.
carry on.
Irish blood, English heart, this I'm made of. There is no one on earth I'm afraid of. And I will die with both of my hands untied.
So Morrissey will die with both of his hands untied.
I think this links to the previous lyric we spoke about, which was the no regime can buy or sell me. You know, it's they can't buy and sell me, and my hands will be untied. And it also speaks to, because Morrissey talks about freedom in some of his songs. You know, the one true free life or whatever. And I think that's, you know, probably partly he has had a bit of that in his life, because he hasn't. Most of us have bosses that we have to answer to, or for example, because we need a paycheck, we need to be able to survive. But maybe Morrissey feels like he has more freedom than the average person because he isn't a slave to the wage.
Yes. I just remembered that lyric from Years of Refusal. I have nothing, isn't it? I have nothing left to sell. Oh, I have nothing to sell. Isn't that the line?
Yeah.
I've got nothing to sell. and one day goodbye will be farewell.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. So yeah, no, that's
Savage Beast.
yeah, that's a good point. And also Morrissey is a bit of a jet setter, isn't he? You know, so he has properties in different countries. He moves around. Whilst he is talking about Ireland and England in this song, I think he probably values the fact that he can skip around from country to country. He's not tied to one regime, one place. You know, so he will die wherever he lays his head in the end. It does, you know, he's not tied to anything, and his hands will be untied.
How do you feel about that? Because there is sometimes artists get criticised for that, for singing about somewhere they're maybe originally from, but because they have money and freedom, they don't have to. They're not really tied to it anymore. Like Morrissey here. I know that John Lydon, Johnny Rotten, gets a lot of criticism for in his gigs. He mentions, you know, talking about working class London and Britain and England, but then most people say, well, you spent most of the last 30 years in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So how can you really, is that this is almost talking about the sellout side that we don't believe Morrissey is. But they say, well, you're just saying these things about this country where you're from because it sells well, it looks good. Whereas really, you don't really have to worry about it like the average person.
Yeah, but I suppose, yes, he was living in LA at the time when he released this song. And yes, I suppose you could say it's somewhat hypocritical to dream of an England that
You've abandoned.
Yeah, you don't live in. But he could equally be saying, I will move back to England when it is this place that I dream of. And equally, you know, this is why I moved away, because it's not the England that I wanted, you know.
And I think there's nothing wrong with moving away and exploring different places. It doesn't mean I moved away from Derby, where we're filming now, where I'm from, but I still feel like it's a huge part of me, always will be.
Yeah. We'd love to get rid of you. Let's listen.
You can't get enough of me.
I've been dreaming of a time when the English are sick to death of Labour and Tories and spit upon the name Oliver Cromwell and denounce this royal line that still salutes him and will salute him forever.
Tried to time that. Okay, so there's a couple of bits there we need to talk about.
Yes.
I didn't feel right in stopping Morrissey in his full flow.
No, that's quite an encompassed sentence. I think Alan looks quite young, doesn't he, in the video?
Yeah, and Boz looks good. Okay, so it has been dreaming of a time when the English are sick to death of Labour and Tories.
So Labour and Tories being the Labour Party and the Conservative Party for Tories, the main two political parties in the UK.
Until very recently.
Yeah, now is it Corbyn and Farage are going to be the new...
Well, quite. I mean, so this is kind of what I wanted to say, is that some of Morrissey's dream is being realised right now. The UK population are absolutely sick to death of Labour and Tories. So if you're not from the UK, you won't necessarily know, but we had the Tories for about 15 years. And then just last year, Labour got into power, and everybody, including me, thought, thank God for that. Not everybody, but, you know, a lot of people thought, thank God for that. At least these are sensible people that will sort things out. Nothing's got any better. Things have actually got worse. And so now you've got this party called Reform, led by Nigel Farage, who is a populist, hard-right politician.
Mates with Trump.
And they are surging in the polls. In fact, I saw earlier this week, they are leading the polls at something like 35%. So Morrissey's dream is coming true. I always say, be careful what you wish for, and it's easier to burn the house down than it is to build it again. And I think Reform are burning the house down, but this isn't a politics podcast. Just to say that this particular thing that Morrissey was dreaming of is actually coming true. Now he goes on to this bit that is quite famous in Morrissey circles for being historically inaccurate, I believe. So he says he's dreaming of a time when the English are sick to death of Labour and Tories and spit upon the name Oliver Cromwell and denounce this royal line that still salute him and will salute him forever.
See, it's interesting because I know why you think it's inaccurate historically, maybe. Because I thought this when I first heard the song years ago. I thought that's weird because why would they salute Oliver Cromwell if he was the one that killed their great grandfather Charles I. They beheaded him. And then Oliver Cromwell was here as a Puritan who had cancelled Christmas. But we're not a history podcast either. But obviously after that, the sort of, so why would they salute him? But I suppose maybe it's because he did such a shit job of not having a royal family, that everyone hated him and they couldn't wait to put King Charles II back on the throne because he brought back Christmas and everyone liked him.
Yay. Okay, so there is a world in which that makes sense, because I'm not a history buff, but
yeah, and to be fair, I imagine the reason that any Irish person with Irish ancestry would spit on the grave of spit on the name, Oliver Cromwell, is because I think he was pretty instrumental in sort of famines in Ireland and things.
Yeah.
So I think he was not nice to the Irish, basically. Bit of a sod.
Okay, well, let's hear the song out then. I think that's the end of the lyrics, but it would be wrong to not finish it. So let's go. I mean, it is very rousing, isn't it? It's a very powerful song. I would
Pumps you up a little bit.
yeah, I would love to have been in the background of this video.
Yeah.
You don't see Morrissey wearing white that much, do you?
No. Well, he's wearing white behind us, isn't he?
I was just thinking that, yeah. Let's pause it before we get an advert for over 50s health supplements or something.
Well, if you need it, George, it's your account.
Okay, so, I mean, it has to be one of my favourite Morrissey songs because it's so succinct and crystal clear, what he's saying. Yeah. How about you? Is it one of your favourites?
It is, yeah. It's a great song. I think it is quite rousing, as you said, but also, I've listened to this embarrassingly before, like an interview or something. Gives you a bit of sort of before an interview.
Oh.
So to sort of give you, if you've got to go in, or before you go on, if you have to talk to a number of people in front of people or something, it gives you a bit of sort of personal strength.
Pumps you up.
Pumps you up a little bit, but also makes you think, there is no one I'm scared of.
And we have to honour that song because it was instrumental in Morrissey's big comeback at the time. And fingers crossed there'll be one more comeback in the third act. That's
the third act.
The third act of Morrissey's career.
Yes, yeah.
Let's hope so. Okay, so that was Irish Blood, English Heart. This is a sparkling rosé, which I am enjoying.
It's good, isn't it? This is nice too.
Yeah. Can I just smell that one? Get maybe cinnamon or...
Yeah, there's a bit of cinnamon in there.
Yeah, very nice. So next we're going to talk about some recommendations. If you love Morrissey, then you'll love this. Oh no, we're not actually. Next we've got the interview with Matt Koff. My apologies.
Idiot.
So Matt Koff, as we said earlier, is a writer on The Daily Show in the US. It's a huge show. It is really important in the cultural conversation of the US. And it's a comedy show. Matt Koff is a comedy writer. He's also a stand-up comedian, and he loves Morrissey and the Smiths. So we're going to talk to him about his Smiths origin story. Where did it all start for him? What has Morrissey taught him about jokes and humour? And I think it's going to be a great chat. And obviously it's going to mean a lot more to people who live in the US than in the UK, but it's like Have I Got News for You? It's that level of everyone knows the show, and it's a big deal to be a writer on that show. So.
Well, I think as a professional comedian, I'm really interested, I'm really interested in his take on Morrissey and humour, Morrissey's humour as well, because we both agree that Morrissey's hilarious, can be hilarious when he wants to be, and when he doesn't want to be. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Okay. So
and he also he listens to the podcast as well. You said.
Yeah. He likes the podcast, which is really flattering. Thank you. Okay. So we're going to go into that interview now, and then after the interview, we're going to do If You Love Morrissey, Then You Love This. So yeah. Cheers.
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 Let's have a chat. Matt, welcome to the Morrissey and Wine podcast. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So we're going to talk to you obviously about humour and jokes in the world of Morrissey. But first, I think we need to explain to the UK audience, of which is probably the majority of our audience, what the Daily Show is. Can you explain to us its importance, how big it is in America, and its cultural relevance?
Oh, sure. Well, The Daily Show, I mean, I've written for it for 12 years, but it's way before I was there, you know. It started out as a show on Comedy Central, and then Jon Stewart took it over, famous, I mean, at least domestically famous comedian. Do you guys have Jon Stewart over there?
Well, we know who he is, and we've seen a couple of his episodes from when he was on the show for research.
Right. Have you seen Morrissey's photo of that says Jon Stewart for president on his T-shirt?
No, I haven't seen that. Have you, Chris?
No, we need to see that.
Yeah, check that out. It's pretty crazy, especially, you know, with everything. But yeah, so it became like it became like this giant news satire program, and John really, I think we really came to prominence. This is before my time, when John was staying up against George W. Bush, you know, kind of against the Iraq War, and just people really got catharsis by watching John react to the craziness of the war. And since then, I don't know, it's just become this force in comedy, just winning countless Emmys, and just reshaping American satire. And also it begat John Oliver's show, you know, Colbert's shows. So it's, and just like a springboard for all this amazing talent, you know, Steve Carell, you know, who comes to mind first. But yeah, I don't know. So that's The Daily Show. It's a big deal, and I'm very fortunate that I've been able to write for it.
Yeah, we enjoyed doing some research, watching some of the episodes,
because we found we could get it on a service over here called Now TV, which I'm subscribed to. So, and they have the whole catalog of shows on there.
Quite a lot's on YouTube as well, isn't it? I think?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh, so you had never seen it before? Like, is it? I guess it's, people don't really know about The Daily Show over there, right?
No, but we don't really. But then I have an American friend called Kara who lives over here, and I mentioned that we were going to be interviewing you, and she like freaked out. She's like, "That is a massive show. You know, that's a big deal."
Oh, okay. Well, then congratulations to you guys then, I guess.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So, what is your Smiths or Morrissey origin story? Where did it all start for you?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess on a mixtape in 2004, my friend, or no, it's probably earlier than that, late 90s. My friend made a mixtape for me, and, you know, Big Mouth Strikes Again was on it, and, you know, just like three, just, you know, classic Smith songs. That was the first time I ever became aware of Morrissey. And then I remember finding Your Arsenal and like for, you know, $3 in a CD bin, you know, and like Sam Goody or something a few years later. And that first song, you know, You're Gonna Need Someone on Your Side. I was just like, this is amazing. So then I really, you know, started to learn more about Morrissey. And then I got divorced, and then I really got into Morrissey, you know, because when you're getting divorced, you know, there's nobody better to listen to than Morrissey, I think. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like, you know, I've known about Morrissey. I've always liked Morrissey, but I feel like the older I get, you know, I like Morrissey, and also, I mean, I love the Smiths too, but I feel like the fact that not as many people seem to even know about Morrissey makes me like his solo stuff more. One time I actually, you know, I do stand up, and I opened for a Smiths cover band.
Oh, wow.
And that was very interesting. It was definitely not the best show, like comedy wise. It was the audience was not there for a comedy. They were there for Smiths cover band. But
so yeah, on that, and on the comedy side, which elements of Morrissey's persona or his lyrics do you find funny?
Like that documentary, like The Importance of Being Morrissey, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And it's just his like life is really funny to me. His, you know, like apparently he just kind of eats like beans and toast, or so he can't like handle food with flavor. I remember that as being just really, really funny. And just, I mean, okay, well, yeah, the song I just listened to, Dear God, Please Help Me, where it's like that line, there are explosive kegs between my legs. And like, I don't even think this is supposed to be a funny song. I'm like, sometimes I'm like, surely that's funny, but the song is not like a joke song. It's a real song. So sometimes I'm just like, that has to be funny, but he's so over the top that you sometimes don't even know what is supposed to be funny or what's intended to be funny when.
I mean, is that maybe where the campness comes in? Like in that song, he says, you know, "Dear God, did this kind of thing happen to you?" It's so grand that maybe it's camp. Maybe that's the joke.
Yeah, I mean I guess. Yeah, I mean, maybe you guys have a better sense of when he is like, what percentage of Morrissey's lyrics do you feel is like tongue in cheek? Is it all tongue in cheek?
I think there's a lot of tongue in cheek. Yeah.
A lot of it.
But at the same time, I think he's quite happy that people take it fully seriously as well.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It's up
Exactly.
to us, isn't it, to decide how we take the song.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. And I think that's why it, you know, has such resonance. Like, you know, like you listen to like a joke song or whatever, you know, just a pure comedy song, and you know, you listen to it. I mean, I love Monty Python, but you know, it's like most of their songs, like you listen to once or twice, you're like, okay, you know, it was funny the first couple times, but you're not going to listen to it again. But Morrissey has a way of incorporating humor where it doesn't really get in the way of the fact that it's a great song.
Absolutely.
You know, which I feel like, is what I love about him. But you're repressed, but you're remarkably dressed. Just these amazing lyrics to just kind of stick in your head. Oh yeah, I follow Morrissey lyrics. I'm sure you guys too on Instagram, and it's just like there's just, you know, all these great just one-liners really, you know, from Morrissey. But yeah, I don't know. But he's just, and of course that like everything he says in interviews is just, to me, like just like, it's, I guess it's kind of like, you know, David Brent in The Office, and that you're witnessing a train wreck. Like he did this interview with Russell Brand, who is, some might say, problematic in his own right, but the guy, like Russell Brand, was like the straight man for Morrissey. That's how crazy Morrissey is. It's like, factory farming is like the Holocaust, and Russell Brand's like, you don't mean that. He's like, I do, and he's like trying to give Morrissey an out. You know,
and he doesn't take the,
because I'm like, Morrissey, you're just basically canceling yourself right now, and I'm just like, another, you know, instance in which I'm like, Morrissey has to be joking. Like, can't really believe that, but you know what I mean. But at the same time, he is a militant vegan. Really, a joke, and you know, and you know, this is kind of interesting, but I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but there are certain elements of like Morrissey and Trump that I find, like, apart from the fact that, you know, maybe they have some conservative views, to say the least, like they both know how to say something that will get attention. You know what I mean? And it doesn't really matter if people, you know, hate it or love it, whatever it is. It's just like they kind of know the thing to say that will piss a lot of people off.
Yes.
But I think,
it's interesting. There's parallels between Trump and Morrissey. I've not really thought about that. But then when you say, there is one parallel I would say is that, you know, Trump said I could walk down, is it 6th Avenue in New York and shoot at somebody and I'd still win the election. And I think there's a lot of Morrissey fans who probably would forgive a lot of things he says and does.
Well, yeah.
In a similar way, that hardcore, because, you know, they both have that hardcore fan base.
Yeah, and the clips that we sometimes put on the Instagram of, you know, little monologues that he does on the stage.
Right, exactly.
There's a Trump thing going on there when he just talks and talks.
Oh, the media, people, you know, like the liars in the media. Oh God, there was this thing about, did you see this clip of him like talking about like Buffalo? He was in Buffalo. And he was on stage. He was talking about how, like, one time he was in Buffalo and he's like, I went on stage in Buffalo and I said, hello, Paris, you know, because I thought it would be funny because Buffalo is basically, you know, such a crappy city, you know, in upstate New York. And then the media, there's some a reporter who's like, Morrissey was so messed up he could not even tell what city he was in, and then he's like, that's why irony is never a safe bet in Buffalo. And I'm just like, it's so funny, but I'm like, they both have this kind of axe to grind with the media that I find very interesting. That's why we can never elect Morrissey to be president of the United States.
No.
Or anywhere. Yeah, but it is, it's interesting. It's just, but it's funny because Trump has managed to use that whole thing to become the most powerful person in the world, and Morrissey can't even get his next album out. What the hell?
Yeah, I know.
Why isn't there an alt-right coalition building around Morrissey the way there is for, like, fucking any podcaster out there? You know what I mean? Morrissey needs he needs to join your podcast.
Yes.
You guys have to just become an alt-right thing. Get Joe Rogan, and I don't know.
We could think about it.
We could put it on the note. On the
I'm
note.
trying to help.
We'll put it on my notes. Yeah.
How much do you think that Morrissey is actually, like, very conservative, or do you think it's just, I don't know, what do you think it is?
Yeah, I don't think that's the case.
I think he's got a very strange a collection of political beliefs that aren't usually mixed together. And I think that's why he stumbles into these kind of public spats, because he hates Trump, but he also thinks that the hard right for Britain party in the UK is a good thing because it supports animal rights. Do you know what I mean? It's all a bit muddled.
I have said, like, Morrissey is so vegan he's racist. That's what I always say about Morrissey.
Okay.
But people don't really like that.
You mentioned cancelled, and that every comic in America needs to be cancelled before they make it big. Have you been cancelled? And also in terms of cancel culture, is there any lines you won't cross when it comes to jokes, or do you think jokes are fair game? But is there lines that you won't cross?
Are there lines? I mean, I don't think I've ever been canceled, because I feel like, I don't know. I mean,
Well, you're here.
I think it's I'm here. Yeah, that's true. So do you mean I'm about to be canceled?
You'll find out, won't you, after this goes out?
You have to. Are you about to show me one of my old tweets?
No.
No. I've never been. I don't think I've been canceled, but I don't know. I'm not a very high profile comic. I mean, I feel like if that ever were, I mean, you get canceled when you're like, you got hired for somebody. Shane Gillis got hired for SNL, and right before he's about to get the Saturday Night Live gig, people were like, "Oh, here's a podcast of him doing some kind of Asian voice or something." So but anyway, no. So I have never been canceled. What was the second part of your question?
Is there any lines you won't cross when it comes to writing a joke?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I like to think no, but I mean, I just think it just has to be funny, and usually, like, the audience will tell you if it's funny, and if you're like, whether they laugh or not. And I mean, I just feel like, for me, like, if a joke is punching down, then it doesn't matter what it is. Like, I have a joke about a homeless person, right? But it's not like, fucking homeless person, get together, what a loser, I mean, that's not a great joke. Maybe, I don't know, I don't know how, I don't understand British humor. Maybe you guys think that's the best joke. No, but I mean, like, it's, and same thing with the Daily Show. It's like, we target people of power, and most of the time, anyone who's in power is, very worthy of being criticized. But so I just try to, I'm very conscious of, if I'm going to make fun of someone, they have to have deserved it somehow, I think. Yeah. So I don't know. That's not a very fun answer, but I don't know. But I mean, I have a lot of jokes about death. I have a lot of jokes about cats. I try to shit on dog people. So maybe I stir the pot there a little bit, but they deserve it. The dog people deserve it.
It is interesting because there's I think for the podcast we have mostly obviously listeners in Britain, but then probably second most is
Yes,
US.
yes.
And obviously Morrissey has a lot of fans in that are not just in New York, but on the West Coast, and sort of a lot of Latino Hispanic fans as well. So
Right. Yeah.
and they obviously probably don't step in as many puddles as you or I, because it's nice and sunny there, so it's a bit different.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's very interesting that he is all this. Yeah, he has a real universal appeal. Like, yeah. There's also this. I don't know if you saw the episode of Anthony Bourdain's. I think it's Parts Unknown, where it was the LA episode. And at the very end, they interview people at like this Morrissey night, at this bar, and did you ever see that?
No.
So I don't think so.
Oh yeah, you should. It's really great, but it's just these Mexican Americans talking about Morrissey, and they really relate to his outsider status. And they're saying that they're not white enough for America, but they're not brown enough to to be considered real Mexicans in Mexico, and so they relate to like the Irish blood, English heart thing of Morrissey, not really belong to a specific place. So I think the outsider status is something that a lot of people can really relate to.
So this, Matt, this episode is going to come out in mid October. After that date, will you be in the UK after that date doing any shows, or just in the US?
Well, I actually just was in the UK. Did a couple shows in Fringe. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe doing the Fringe Fest next year. That's August. But no, I'm gonna be here for a while. Over in the States, as you guys call them. I'm recording a special September 30th. I don't know when this comes out, but people are interested. They should go to my website, and I do plan to come back to the UK. I really loved it there. I did a show at the Top Secret Comedy Club. I thought it was great. In London. Yeah.
What is the name of your special?
Oh, I haven't decided yet. I was thinking maybe I Feel Sick. But I don't know yet. I'm going to see. But that's the leading contender. I Feel Sick.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Matt, for your time. Really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed this chat.
Yes, yeah, me too.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you so much for having me. I love Morrissey. I love your podcast. I really enjoy it, and
thank you.
I love you guys have really thoughtful takes, and it's great. So I look forward to more episodes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt. Well, have a good day.
All right.
We'll speak soon.
Cheers.
All right, take care.
That was Matt Koff. Really enjoyed that interview. He's a funny guy.
He is, yeah.
And it just, I'm a bit of a, what's the word, America-phile. I love America, and I love visiting. I love the more I can understand about the culture, and I've got a lot of that from that interview. Now, if you want to listen to the full interview, which is obviously longer, you just got the 20-minute version here on the podcast, then you might want to join our Patreon. So Patreon is £4.50 in the UK, $5 a month in the US. It converts depending on where you live in the world. So you'll get full unedited interviews with our guests. You will get Chris and George off mic, which is a bonus monthly episode where sometimes we do a theme, like we did a Desert Island Discs one once. Often we'll just have 3 topics of discussion that we go into and have a chat about, and a bit more detailed, a bit more honesty, that sort of thing. You'll also get exclusive membership to the members only WhatsApp chat. There's about 100 of us in there. They're all listeners of the podcast.
Yep.
Me and Chris are in there. And we talk about Morrissey and the Smiths, anything that comes to mind. It's a really nice, lovely community. You'll also get regular deliveries of badges, which Chris makes.
By fair hand.
Yes, and they're really good badges, and we do them about every 6 months, every year, something like that. And I think you're sending out the next one soon.
Yeah, I'm going to dust off the machine and start making badges.
Yes.
Badge it.
We'll probably aim for late October,
Okay.
I think. So that's when the next. So if you join the Patreon before late October and you give us your address, you will get the badges.
Yeah.
And finally, you get to suggest the next song that Nanny Val reacts to. As I say, I always put them in a playlist and she listens to all of them and she chooses the one she has the most to talk about. But now we are going to do some If You Love Morrissey, Then You'll Love This recommendations.
Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, okay, I'll go first. Okay, let me just grab my wine.
So what have you gone for this month?
So this month I have chosen a poet
Okay.
who is known around these parts because he's a big Morrissey and Smiths fan. And he used to write for the Morrissey Mercury fanzine, which is how this podcast actually started. His name is Jacob Davies. Jacob Davies, Davies. And I really think he's going places. His poetry is just so good. I mean, he's got a quote on his website that I think it said something like, "One day I will find the right words and they will be simple words." And that is the key to good poetry, is that it's simple, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah.
Hits the nail on the head. I don't like overly flowery, Baroque. I think that's the word, Baroque poetry. I prefer simple stuff. That's why I like Philip Larkin so much.
Yes, I was going to mention that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not over egging it. I mean, just because I've talked to Jacob and I think he's a nice guy, that's not the only reason why I'm suggesting him on this podcast. I really think he's going places.
And if he's a Morrissey fan, you'd imagine that his poetry there's some sort of link there.
Well, yeah, obviously you're going to learn from one of the masters.
Yeah.
Morrissey's lyrics are kind of like poetry. I just want to give you an idea of his poetry. He's got one here called Ode to Zopiclone. Do you know what Zopiclone is?
No.
It's not anything bad. It's a sleeping tablet.
Oh, okay.
So the doctors will give you Zopiclone if you're having trouble sleeping. It helps you to switch off and fall to sleep. And I think I was looking at his Instagram page, which is Jacob Davies Poetry, and that title just jumped out at me. I thought, I've got to have a look at that. And let me read you some of it. So, the legs are first to go. It is then you are safe, and refuge shall come soon. Hands heavy, hands slow. That's how it starts. There's another further stanza here. For a stupor must commence, it has set off, it's on its way. And here on God's finest day, you can revolt and turn and say, enough, enough. Nada, nada, nada. Basta. No more of this disaster. Enough, enough. Mouth dry and my dilated eyes spy, sealing the darkness. Goodbye, goodbye. I'll miss you, little guy. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's simple language. That's not the whole poem. I've just taken out a couple of stanzas there. He reads his poetry at live performances across the UK. I believe Jacob's from Yorkshire, so a lot of them are in that area, but you can see him. So check out his website, Google Jacob Davies Poetry, find him on Instagram, because I think in 10 years' time, I honestly think he's going to be one of those names that you know as a poet.
Yeah.
He's definitely got the drive and the talent.
I'll definitely give a read to some of those.
So that's my recommendation, Jacob Davies, the poet. Check him out. Chris, what's your recommendation?
So my recommendation this month, I thought, well, we obviously had Matt Koff on this episode. So I wanted to sort of go down the comedy route, because I think that's, we both really like comedy. So I've gone for quite a classic, I think, in the UK. So I think it won't be new to many people. But I think there is a link to Morrissey in some ways, is One Foot in the Grave.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, it's sort of starring, it stars Richard Wilson and Annette Crosby, written by David Renwick, which I had to read. But no, really, really quite dry in some ways, but also not. It's which I guess is like Morrissey. There's lots of dryness, but also there's some sort of a bit more slapstick in there. So
and a bit of farce.
Yeah, so it basically centres around a bit of a grumpy old man who the world's against him. So yeah, there's some relation there maybe. Just really funny. It sort of is 1990s up until I think they did it later on. They did a few specials up until about 2000, and I think it's definitely worth giving a go. It also for American listeners or people not familiar with sort of the British comedy side, it kind of is this kind of a link to that in my mind to Curb Your Enthusiasm, because I think Curb Your Enthusiasm is sort of the American version in a way. There's sort of that, because in Curb, just like in One Foot in the Grave, Victor and Larry they're not really bad people. They don't do anything wrong, but they just, the way they do things, it gets them in trouble, which probably is something Morrissey can relate to maybe.
Yes.
I
think this show One Foot in the Grave is particularly interesting because the very last episode, I won't ruin it and give you any spoilers, but it's exceptionally dark.
Yeah.
And miserable and kind of worrying. It was a brave show because it went beyond what you would expect of a sitcom in some ways, and I think that's probably why it's such a classic.
Yeah.
And of course, what he's called Victor Meldrew in the show, isn't he? But what's his real name?
Richard Wilson.
Richard
yeah.
Wilson is a very fine actor.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
so this is kind of weighty sitcom,
Yeah.
even though it is very flippant. And you know, I have this image in my head of the plant in the soil in the toilet. Isn't there a time when
I think they this is a classic example of something that happens in the program, which we'll butcher now and ruin, and it won't sound as funny as it is when you watch it. But for example, he's quite sort of just does normal things, says things, and things are just against him, and he says that someone's dropping a bay leaf tree off, and I think he said where do you want it planted? Where do you want it put in? And he said, "Oh, just in the downstairs toilet. You know, just put it in the downstairs toilet." But then the person plants it in the toilet. In I suppose in the because obviously to make that, if that probably is actually more funny to Americans because we call the room the toilet, whereas Americans would call the toilet probably the
bathroom.
The toilet to them is the actual physical dish or whatever you call that bit. But we would just call it the downstairs toilet, meaning the whole room and the sink and. So that's one example of that. But it is, and he's got these like long-suffering neighbours and things. But really, he's not a bad person.
You kind of like him, which is why it's like Curb, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think you do really like him, and I think the dark side is really there because it's not just that end episode that's quite dark. There's quite a lot of dark comedy in there. And this is before the time of sort of more recent dark comedy like League of Gentlemen, which is really dark. This for its time was quite dark and daring compared to other contemporary things, which were. Probably you could relate to some, like for example, Keeping Up Appearances. You might think that's a similar age, and like Terry and June, similar sort of time. But they're nothing. They're very different, really. In my mind, they're completely different and good in their own way. But they're not got the same darkness. And there's lots of it as well, so you can keep watching it. It's great.
Now I don't know what that show is available on to international listeners, but everything's on Amazon. I'm sure you can find it there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yours is One Foot in the Grave, the sitcom. Mine is Jacob Davies, the poet, One to Watch. You know what, Chris? I think that ends the podcast.
Oh, well done. Another podcast down.
In the bag.
In the bank.
I hope that you at home have enjoyed listening or watching. I just wanted to make a point of saying that, this is episode 19 now. We're almost coming up to 2 years. We've met so many interesting people through this podcast and so many lovely people who enjoy it and tell us that they like it and even look forward to it coming out, every month. And that means a lot to us because me, Chris and Gary, our producer, we do put a lot into this. And it's just really nice that it's appreciated. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Gary. Again, Gary, the producer. Gary runs Red Eye Media Studios here in Derby. Gary's website, I don't want to get it wrong, redeye.co.uk. So if you have a podcast or if you know someone with a podcast, you're in this area and you want to take it to the next level, check out redeye.co.uk. Shall we say cheers and goodbye, Chris?
Cheers, George.
Cheers to you at home.
Cheers.
Allons-y, Godspeed, God bless.
God bless dark comedy.
Cheers.
Cheers.